New York, on a rainy March morning, pulsed with its usual energy, even under the gray blanket of clouds that hid the sun. Maria Santos, a 32-year-old janitor, was finishing her shift at the Harrison and Company office building, one of the city's major business hubs. With a water bottle in one hand and a mop in the other, she moved through the vast lobby area, trying to dodge the hurried feet of executives and employees. She had never imagined anything significant could happen in such a sophisticated place. Her days were filled with the sound of the vacuum cleaner and the shine of polished floors. Today, however, there was something different in the air, a feeling she couldn't quite explain. As Maria walked through the main foyer, the sound of footsteps echoed behind her. It was John Harrison, the president of the company, a middle-aged man in an impeccably tailored suit with a keen gaze. He stopped beside her and smiled, a smile that seemed a bit out of place given the work environment. "Good morning, Maria," John said, with a gentle tone and a genuinely friendly expression. "How are you?" Maria looked up from the floor, surprised he was speaking directly to her. Normally, her encounters with executives were limited to a distant wave or a nervous smile. "Good morning, Mr. Harrison. I'm well, thank you." She tried not to appear intimidated, but couldn't hide her surprise. "I wanted to give you something." John pulled out a small, elegant box from his briefcase and extended it to Maria. "It's a gift. I appreciate all the hard work you do here." Maria looked at the box, hesitating before accepting it. It was luxuriously wrapped, and she wondered what could be inside. With her hands trembling slightly, she opened the box and found a designer dress, dark blue, with sophisticated details. "Oh, Mr. Harrison, this is—" Maria was at a loss for words, staring at the dress in shock. "This must have cost a fortune. I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything." John chuckled softly. "I just thought you deserved some recognition for your work. And if you don't mind, I'd like you to wear this dress to a special event I'm hosting next week. It's a big business gathering, and I'd like you to be there." Maria swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the responsibility. A high-profile business event wasn't exactly the kind of place she frequented, but John's kindness touched her deeply, and she realized this could be an opportunity for something more. I don't know, sir. I'm not sure I would fit in at such an event," Maria said, her insecurity evident in her voice. John smiled again, with an encouraging look. "Trust me, Maria. You'll do great. And don't worry about the formality. Just come and see for yourself." He gave a slight nod and started to walk away, but then stopped and added, "Oh, and if you need anything to prepare, let me know. I'm here to help." Maria stood there, staring at the box as if waiting for the dress to jump out and explain what she should do. John's words echoed in her mind as she went back to work, feeling that something big was about to happen. As she cleaned the last details of the lobby, Maria thought about the irony of the situation. Her world had been limited to simple tasks and a quiet life, and now, suddenly, she was being pulled into the spotlight of a world that had always seemed distant. She didn't know what to expect, but one thing was clear. Her life was about to change in ways she could never have imagined. Maria Santos couldn't sleep well that night. The expensive dress was still on her mind, and the thought of attending an important business event made her toss and turn in bed. John Harrison's words echoed in her mind, mingled with her own insecurities and doubts. She was anxious and somewhat excited, but also terrified by the prospect of facing an environment so different from what she was used to. The next morning, while making her simple breakfast, Maria tried to focus on the gift she had received. The only company she had was her small apartment, which always seemed larger than it actually was when she was alone with her thoughts. Her phone rang, interrupting her musings. It was a message from Anna, her closest friend and coworker. "Anna, good morning, Maria. Have you thought about the event? Are you excited? Let's go together. I can help with anything you need." Maria quickly replied, her anxiety mixed with a touch of gratitude. "Maria, good morning, Anna. Yes, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm trying to get organized. I'd appreciate any help you can give." By the end of the day, Anna arrived at Maria's apartment to help her prepare for the event. Anna was excited and carried a bunch of makeup and accessories she could lend. "Maria, this dress is amazing," Anna said, admiring the expensive piece hanging on the closet door. You have to make it shine. We're going to make you feel like a star." Maria laughed nervously. "I hope you're right. But honestly, I feel a bit out of place. I have no idea how to behave at an event like this." Anna started applying makeup to Maria with skill. "Look, you're worrying too much. The key is to feel confident. Remember, you're there because someone believes in you. It's not every day someone like John Harrison gives you a gift and invites you to an event like this." "I know, but still," Maria hesitated. "I've never been in such a formal setting. And what am I going to say to these people?" Anna smiled and finished applying the lipstick. "Just be yourself. Talk about what you know, and remember, no one is expecting you to be a business expert. Just act naturally." As the night of the event approached, Maria found herself grappling with her insecurities. However, as she looked in the mirror and saw the reflection of the woman in the elegant blue dress, she felt a small spark of courage. The event was taking place in a luxurious hotel in downtown Manhattan. When Maria arrived, the lobby was filled with well-dressed people and sophisticated conversations. The opulence of the setting made her even more nervous, but she took a deep breath and pressed on. John Harrison was in a corner, chatting with some colleagues. He saw her and came over with a warm smile. "Maria, you made it," John said, extending his hand to her. "You look fantastic." "Thank you, Mr. Harrison. I'm still trying to get used to all of this," Maria replied, her nervousness clearly visible. "Just relax and enjoy the evening. If you need anything, I'll be around." John gave a slight nod and went back to his conversations. Maria moved around the room, trying to feel at ease. Conversations about business and finance floated around her, and she found herself observing interactions, feeling a bit out of place. She overheard snippets of discussions about a new partnership on the table and an important business proposal. Meanwhile, she noticed that many people were drawn to a group discussing a specific issue. The conversation was heated, with many conflicting opinions. Maria was nearby, listening intently, when an executive seemed to hit a deadlock. Feeling a surge of courage, she decided to step closer to listen more carefully. When the discussion seemed to stall, she timidly raised her hand and, with a soft voice, made a suggestion. "What if we tried a different approach to the problem? Maybe a more innovative solution to address the long-term issue." Heads turned toward her, and, to her surprise, people began discussing her suggestion. Maria was scared, but also intrigued to see how her words were generating a reaction. She felt a small spark of hope growing inside her. As the night went on, Maria began to feel a little more comfortable. Although she was still nervous, she was starting to realize that her presence was being noticed, and maybe, just maybe, she could find a place in this new world that seemed so distant. The following week passed in a whirlwind for Maria. John Harrison's invitation continued to weigh on her mind as she tried to adjust to the idea of attending such a sophisticated business event. Her daily routine felt different, each task carried out with the expectation that something grand was about to happen. On Friday morning, Maria was at home, trying to figure out how to prepare for the big night. The blue dress was carefully hung in her closet, and she decided she needed to prepare not just physically, but emotionally as well. So, she called Anna, her trusted friend, for advice and help. The phone rang, and Anna answered with an enthusiastic tone. "Hey, Maria. How are you? Ready for the big night?" "Hi, Anna. I'm a bit nervous, to be honest," Maria replied, her voice revealing the anxiety she felt. "I need to know how to prepare for this. I'm not used to this kind of event." "Don't worry," Anna said, trying to calm her down. "Here's what we'll do. I'll come over now, and we'll have a prep session. Makeup, hair, everything. We'll make sure you look amazing." A few hours later, Anna arrived at Maria's apartment with a bag full of beauty products and accessories. The atmosphere was lively, despite Maria's tension. "Okay, let's start with the makeup," Anna said, opening her bag and pulling out a series of products. "I want you to feel beautiful and confident. Remember, you're there because someone believed in your potential." As Anna applied foundation and eyeliner, Maria watched in the mirror, trying to get used to the idea of being so well-groomed. "Anna, I have to admit I'm feeling a bit out of my comfort zone," Maria confessed. "I don't know how I'll fit into this environment." "Look, Maria, you might feel out of place now, But that's normal, Anna responded with an encouraging tone. The most important thing is to remember you were invited for a reason. John believes in you. And don't forget, you have a lot to offer. I hope you're right, Maria said with a shy smile. The last thing I want is to seem like an intruder. Don't worry about that, Anna concluded, finishing the makeup. Just be yourself. And remember, everyone starts somewhere. Sometimes, the most important thing is to show who you really are. With her makeup and hair finally done, Maria put on the elegant blue dress. When she saw herself in the mirror, the effect was striking. The dress fit perfectly and complemented Anna's makeup, creating a sophisticated look. Wow, Maria, you look stunning, Anna exclaimed, admiring the final result. Now, let's just make sure you feel good and confident. That night, Maria was ready for the event, but her anxiety was still palpable. Anna accompanied her to the door, offering one last bit of encouragement. Everything will be fine, Maria. Just take a deep breath and enjoy the night. Remember, you're here because you deserve to be, Anna said, offering a final piece of encouragement. Maria took a deep breath and headed to the hotel where the event was being held. The journey across the city, from her apartment to the venue, felt like a ritual of preparation. She took in the city around her, the gleam of the lights and the frenetic movement of the cars, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Upon arriving at the hotel, she found herself once again in a sea of well-dressed people and sophisticated conversations. Maria adjusted her dress and made her way to the lobby, where a crowd was already mingling and socializing. She looked for John Harrison and saw him chatting with a group near a large presentation board. Maria approached, trying to maintain her composure. Mr. Harrison, good evening, Maria said, her tone slightly hesitant. John turned and smiled, clearly pleased to see her. Maria, you look amazing, he said, genuinely impressed. I hope you're feeling good. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. I'm trying to get used to all of this, Maria replied, trying to hide her anxiety. Don't worry, John said in an encouraging tone. Just enjoy the evening. And if you need anything, I'm around. As the night went on, Maria began to feel a bit more at ease. Although she was still nervous, Anna's words and John Harrison's support helped her feel more confident. She allowed herself to relax and start enjoying the experience, aware that she was indeed part of something grand. The Friday night event was in full swing at the luxurious Manhattan Hotel. The lobby was adorned with elegant decorations, and the soft lighting created a sophisticated ambience. The murmur of conversations and the clink of champagne glasses filled the air. People were well-dressed, exchanging business cards and discussing deals, while waiters circulated with trays of hors d'oeuvres. Despite feeling a bit out of place, Maria tried to blend in. She moved slowly, taking in the opulence around her and trying to appear as natural as possible. Her dark blue dress made her stand out, and she received a few curious glances and discreet compliments throughout the night. She decided to approach a group near a large presentation board where several executives were discussing details about an international partnership proposal. Maria listened attentively, trying to understand what was happening. Suddenly, an executive named David raised his voice, expressing frustration with the situation. I don't see how we can move forward with these terms. They're too restrictive and don't meet our needs, David said, crossing his arms with a look of frustration. The discussion heated up, with other executives offering their own opinions and suggestions. Maria, observing the situation, felt an inexplicable urge to contribute. She approached discreetly, looking for a way to add value. One of the executives, Sarah, noticed Maria and, with a curious look, asked, "Do you have any suggestions, Maria?" Maria hesitated for a moment, but remembered Anna's encouraging words and decided to speak up. Well, if you'll allow me, maybe a different approach to the problem could help, Maria began, her voice a bit shaky but firm. What if we explored a more flexible solution that could satisfy both parties? This might not only address the current concerns but also open doors for future opportunities. There was a moment of silence as the executives considered what Maria had said. David frowned and finally said, "That's interesting. Can you explain a bit more about what you have in mind?" Maria took a deep breath and began to explain her idea in more detail, adjusting her approach based on the reactions of her listeners. She talked about a proposal involving a commitment in terms of delivery and a business model that would benefit both parties in the long run. As she spoke, John Harrison approached and listened intently. He was impressed by Maria's clarity and logic. When she finished, he smiled and addressed the group. "Everyone, Maria's idea is really innovative. I think we have something valuable here," John said, giving a slight nod of approval to Maria. The executives began to discuss Maria's suggestion, and the atmosphere in the room shifted. There was a growing sense of optimism and renewed energy among the group. Maria's proposal seemed to offer a new perspective that could resolve the situation. Later that night, after several discussions and adjustments, the proposal was formally accepted and included in the negotiation. Maria watched from a distance, relieved and somewhat surprised by the impact her words had. John approached Maria again, with a satisfied smile. "Maria, you did an exceptional job. Your contribution was key in resolving the situation," he praised, genuinely impressed. I just try to help," Maria said, her voice still a bit shaky but filled with gratitude. "Well, you helped much more than you realize," John said, his tone encouraging. "Thank you for being here and for your excellent contribution." The night continued with a celebratory atmosphere. Maria, now a bit more at ease, chatted with some of the executives and began to feel like part of the environment. She realized that, despite her initial insecurities, she had managed to make a significant impact. At the end of the event, Maria said her goodbyes to John and the others, feeling more confident and fulfilled. What had started as a simple invitation and an unexpected gift had transformed into an experience that gave her a new perspective on herself and her capabilities. She left the hotel with the sense that this might be the beginning of something much bigger than she had ever imagined. The sun had barely started to rise on the horizon when Maria Santos woke up the morning after the event. The night had been long and full of reflections, but she couldn't shake the impact she had made at the business meeting. Her phone was filled with congratulatory messages and requests for feedback, heightening her sense that something big was about to happen. When she arrived at work on Monday, Maria found the office more bustling than usual. Executives and staff were talking about the business meeting and the proposal that had been accepted the night before. Maria, with a mix of excitement and nerves, made her way to her desk, trying to grasp the magnitude of the situation. John Harrison walked into the office shortly after, looking concerned. He headed straight to Maria's office, his expression indicating that something important was about to happen. "Maria, good morning," John said as he entered her office, carrying a folder of documents. "How are you feeling after the big night?" Maria smiled, still a bit shy. "Good morning, Mr. Harrison. I'm feeling well, thank you. It was an amazing experience." "I'm glad to hear that," John said, with a serious tone. "I wanted to talk to you about today's meeting. We're at a crucial point in the negotiation, and based on your contribution last time, I'd like you to participate again." Maria was surprised and a bit nervous. "Participate again? I thought my contribution was just for that meeting." John looked at her with a serious expression. "Your idea was more important than we realized. The proposal you helped develop is now in advanced discussions, and we need to work out some critical details. Your perspective might be crucial to ensure everything goes smoothly." "I understand," Maria replied, trying to hide her anxiety. "When is the meeting?" "In a few hours," John said, glancing at his watch. "I'll be in a conference room on the 18th floor. If you could join us there, it would be great." Maria nodded, feeling a wave of nervousness. The 18th floor was reserved for the company's most important meetings, and the idea of being there made her feel the gravity of the situation. A few hours later, Maria found herself in the conference room with John and several high-ranking executives. The atmosphere was tense, with charts and reports spread out on the table. The discussion focused on some complex details of the proposal and how to adjust the terms to meet the needs of all parties involved. David, the same executive who had shown frustration in the previous meeting, was particularly agitated. "We need to find a quick solution to these terms. The proposal is almost there, but there are still some issues we can't resolve," David said, wiping his forehead in a gesture of frustration. John looked at Maria, signaling for her to start presenting her ideas. With her heart racing, Maria began to offer her suggestions based on the previous night's discussion. If we consider adjusting the delivery timelines and offering a performance bonus, it might ease the demands and improve the acceptance of the proposal. Additionally, we could include a review clause that allows for adjustments as needed, Maria explained, trying to convey confidence in her words. There was a moment of silence in the room as everyone processed what Maria had said. Finally, Sarah, one of the executives, raised her hand to ask a question. Maria, do you believe these changes will really help balance our interests with those of the other party? Sarah asked, looking at Maria with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Maria took a deep breath and answered firmly. Yes, I believe these changes can create a better balance. The additional flexibility will allow both parties to adapt and find a long-term solution that works. The executives began discussing Maria's proposals and considering the implications of the suggested changes. The tension in the room was palpable, but Maria remained calm and focused, observing the debates and adjusting her suggestions as needed. After several hours of discussion and adjustments, the proposal was finally refined and approved. John Harrison approached Maria again, with a satisfied smile. Maria, your contribution was once again crucial to the success of this negotiation, John said, with a tone of sincere gratitude. We couldn't have done it without you. I'm glad I could help, Maria replied, relieved and exhausted. Thank you for the opportunity. It's more than that, John said, with an encouraging tone. You have an incredible talent for problem solving and thinking outside the box. If you keep this up, I'm sure your future will be bright. Maria smiled, feeling a surge of pride and accomplishment. What had begun with a gift and an unexpected invitation had turned into a series of opportunities that were changing her life. She left the conference room with the feeling that she was finally finding her place in a world that had once seemed out of reach. The week following the successful negotiation, the atmosphere at Harrison & Company was buzzing with excitement. The revised proposal had been accepted, and the team was celebrating their success. Maria Santos, now a more recognized figure within the company, felt increasingly integrated into the environment. However, the most remarkable aspect was the impact her contribution had on her own life. Maria was on her cleaning shift, tidying up the office on the 20th floor, when she was called by John Harrison's assistant, Mark. He found her in the hallway and, with a friendly smile, said, Maria, Mr. Harrison would like to speak with you. Could you head to his office when you have a moment? Maria, feeling a flutter of nervousness, responded in a calm but slightly anxious tone. Sure, Mark. I'll head there right now. She took a deep breath and made her way to John's office. Upon entering, she found the company president in his elegant office, surrounded by papers and reports. John was reviewing some documents and looked up when he saw Maria. Maria, come in, please, John said, gesturing to a chair in front of his desk. How are you? I'm good, thank you, Maria replied, trying to mask her anxiety. What can I do for you? I wanted to discuss something important with you, John began, his tone serious. In recent days, the team and I have been discussing your contribution to the negotiations and the positive impact you've had. Maria settled into the chair, curious and a bit apprehensive. Yes, I'm listening. John looked directly at her, his gaze conveying a mix of admiration and formality. You've demonstrated exceptional problem-solving skills and a valuable perspective that we didn't have before. Because of this, I'd like to offer you a new opportunity within the company. Maria blinked, not fully understanding. A new opportunity? What are you talking about? We're creating a new position for you, John explained with a smile. It will be a coordination role between the operations and business development teams. You'll have the chance to use your skills to solve problems and contribute to strategic decisions. We also want to formalize this change with a salary increase. Maria was speechless, the impact of John's words taking a moment to sink in. Finally, she managed to find her voice. That's amazing, Mr. Harrison. But I never imagined I'd have such an opportunity, she said, with a mix of surprise and gratitude. I really don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything just yet, John replied with a gentle laugh. Think of this as a chance to grow and develop further. If you're interested, we can discuss the details and start as soon as possible. I'm definitely interested, Maria responded, her eyes shining with determination. This is an opportunity one never thought I'd have, and I'm ready to take it on. John smiled broadly and extended his hand. Excellent. Let's schedule a meeting to go over the details and discuss how we can make this transition as smooth as possible. And Maria, congratulations. You deserve it. Maria shook John's hand, feeling a surge of emotion and accomplishment. The opportunity she was receiving felt like a dream come true, and she was eager to embrace the new role with the same passion and dedication she had shown during the negotiations. After the meeting, Maria headed to the cafeteria for lunch. The news of her promotion spread quickly, and she was met with congratulations and encouragement from her colleagues. The team seemed genuinely happy for her, which made her feel even more welcomed. Anna, upon finding Maria in the cafeteria, gave her a warm hug. Maria, I heard about your promotion. Congratulations. Anna exclaimed, clearly excited. Thank you, Anna. Maria replied with a beaming smile. It's a big step, and I'm excited and a bit nervous at the same time. You're going to do great, I'm sure of it, Anna said with an encouraging look. Just keep being yourself, and everything will work out. Maria finished her lunch, chatting animatedly with Anna and other colleagues, feeling a new sense of belonging and accomplishment. The day ended with a feeling of anticipation for the future and a recognition that hard work and courage were starting to pay off. As Maria prepared to leave the office, she reflected on her journey from the moment she received the dress from John Harrison to the promotion she had just received. She was about to embark on a new phase of her career, and the future looked promising. Maria Santos was both excited and a little nervous about starting her new role at Harrison & Company. The promotion she had received was a significant milestone in her career, and she was determined to make the most of it. Her new role as a coordinator between the operations and business development teams involved handling complex challenges and participating in the company's strategic decisions. On the morning of her first week in the new position, Maria arrived early at the office, eager to familiarize herself with her new responsibilities. Her desk was now centrally located, near the meeting and planning areas. She found an email from John Harrison with the day's agenda and a list of important meetings. As Maria reviewed her new duties and organized her desk, Mark, John's assistant, appeared with a friendly smile. "Good morning, Maria," Mark said as he entered her office. "Mr. Harrison would like to have a brief meeting to discuss your new projects and how we can better integrate them with the team." "Good morning, Mark," Maria replied, adjusting her notebook and trying to stay calm. "I'll head over there right away." Maria found John in a modern, well-lit conference room. He was standing by a table covered with charts and reports, waiting for her. When he saw her enter, John smiled and invited her to sit. "Maria, great to see you," John began in an encouraging tone. "Congratulations again on your new role. I'm confident you'll do an excellent job." "Thank you, Mr. Harrison," Maria said, sitting down and adjusting her notepad. "I'm excited to get started and looking forward to learning more about the ongoing projects." John nodded and started explaining the company's current priorities. "We have several important projects in the planning phase and others that are already underway. Your role will be to ensure efficient communication between the teams and to keep all the details aligned. We'll need your help to make sure everything stays on track." "Got it," Maria said, taking notes. "Where should we start?" "Let's begin with the International Expansion Project," John explained. "This is a critical project for us and needs effective coordination. There's a meeting with the operations team this afternoon to discuss the next steps. I want you to be present and involved in the discussion." "Understood. I'll be there," Maria responded, feeling a mix of excitement and responsibility. That afternoon, Maria prepared for the meeting with the operations team. She reviewed all relevant documents and reports, arriving early to familiarize herself with the space and get ready for the discussion. When the meeting began, Maria found herself seated next to Paul, the head of operations, and other team members. Paul, a middle-aged man with a practical demeanor, greeted Maria with a firm handshake. "Hello, Maria," Paul said. "We're looking forward to working with you in this new role. There's a lot to be done, and we need strong communication between the teams." "Hello, Paul," Maria replied, trying to convey confidence. "I'm here to help however I can and ensure everything runs smoothly." The meeting started with a review of the goals for the International Expansion Project. Paul presented a detailed timeline and discussed the key objectives and challenges. Maria listened attentively, taking notes and preparing to contribute. When it was her turn to speak, Maria presented her ideas on how to improve communication and information flow between the teams. She suggested implementing weekly alignment meetings and using a new project management platform to ensure everyone stayed updated. I think implementing a project management platform could help keep everyone on the same page and ensure information is shared efficiently, Maria proposed. Additionally, weekly alignment meetings could be useful for addressing issues and adjusting plans as needed. Paul and the team listened attentively, and there was a murmur of approval. "Those are good suggestions," Paul said, looking at Maria with a smile. "We'll consider these ideas and see how we can integrate them into our current plan." By the end of the meeting, Maria felt relieved and satisfied with how things had gone. She knew there was still much to learn, but she felt she was on the right track in her new role. As the meeting concluded and everyone began to disperse, John approached Maria with a pleased expression. "Maria, great job today," John said, with an encouraging tone. "Your suggestions were well received and will have a positive impact on the project." "Thank you, Mr. Harrison," Maria replied with a grateful smile. "I'm trying to do my best, and I'm glad my ideas were helpful." "Keep it up, and you'll make a significant difference," John concluded. "If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me." Maria left the office that day feeling a bit more confident and accomplished. The new role was challenging, but also full of opportunities for growth and learning. She was determined to excel and show that, despite her modest start, she had what it took to succeed in her new position. As the weeks went by, Maria Santos adapted well to her new role at Harrison & Company. She was excelling in her responsibilities and gaining the trust of her colleagues and superiors. However, her most recent challenge was the biggest she had faced so far. The company was about to launch a new product internationally, and Maria had been tasked with coordinating the launch and ensuring all departments were aligned. The pressure was high, and she knew the success of this project was crucial to the company's reputation. On the morning of the big day, Maria arrived early at the office, her heart racing as she reviewed her task list. The launch was scheduled for the afternoon, and she needed to make sure every detail was in place. As the day progressed, Maria coordinated last-minute meetings, reviewed final reports, and checked the final logistics. While Maria was in the midst of her tasks, she received an urgent message from Paul, the head of operations, requesting an immediate meeting. With a mix of concern and urgency, she headed to Paul's office. "Paul, you called for me?" Maria asked as she entered the conference room, where Paul wore a tense expression. "Maria, we need to discuss a critical issue," Paul said bluntly. "There's been an unexpected delay in the delivery of marketing materials, and this could affect the launch. We need to find a quick solution." Maria felt a chill at the news. "A delay? That could jeopardize the entire schedule. What can we do to resolve this?" Paul sighed, rubbing his forehead. "We're working on finding an alternative, but the situation is complicated. We need a solution that doesn't compromise the quality of the launch." Maria thought quickly and had an idea. "What if we do a partial launch? We could start with an initial phase using the materials we already have, and then proceed with the full launch once the remaining materials arrive." Paul looked at her with a hopeful expression. "That might work. We'll need to adjust the communication and ensure customers are informed about the initial phase." Maria nodded, determined to act. "I'll work on this immediately and coordinate with the marketing team to make the necessary adjustments." With a solution in mind, Maria headed to the marketing department. There, she found Sarah, the head of marketing, and began explaining the situation. "Sarah, we have a problem with the delivery of the marketing materials," Maria started, with an urgent tone. "We need to adjust the launch to an initial phase and communicate this to the clients." Sarah, initially surprised, quickly adapted and began working on the necessary adjustments. "Got it, Maria. We'll need clear communication to make sure clients know what to expect. I'll start preparing a press release and updates for our social media channels." As the marketing team worked on the communication, Maria continued to coordinate logistics with other departments. She made phone calls, reviewed documents, and ensured all teams were aware of the changes. Finally, the launch time arrived. Maria was in the conference room, watching real-time updates as the partial launch took place. The team was anxious, and everyone was attentive to client and media reactions. During the event, Maria received a message from John Harrison, who was following the launch from an external conference. "Maria, I heard about the issue with the materials, but it seems you found an effective solution," John said in the message. "Great job handling the situation. How are things going now?" Maria responded, trying to hide her fatigue. "Things are going well. The initial phase of the launch is on track, and the marketing team is handling the communication. We're adjusting details as we go." "Keep it up," John replied. "I'm confident you'll do an excellent job, and the launch will be a success." With John's supportive words, Maria felt a momentary sense of relief. She continued to monitor progress, receiving positive feedback about the initial launch phase and the communications made. As the day came to a close, Maria found herself in a break room, exhausted but satisfied with the outcome. Her co-workers congratulated her on her hard work and how she had handled the challenge. "Maria, you did an amazing job today," Sarah said, approaching with a smile. "The partial launch was a success, and your problem-solving skills were impressive." "Thank you, Sarah," Maria replied with a tired smile. "It was an intense day, but we're heading in the right direction." As Maria prepared to leave, John Harrison appeared in the office, still sounding pleased. "Maria, congratulations on the success of the launch," John said with a genuine smile. "Your ability to handle unforeseen issues and keep the project on track was remarkable." "Thank you, Mr. Harrison," Maria said, relieved. "It was a challenge, but I'm glad we managed to resolve the situation. I'm sure there will be more challenges ahead, but you're more than ready to face them," John concluded, with an encouraging tone. "Keep up the great work." Maria left the office that night with a sense of accomplishment. The launch had been a success despite the unexpected challenges, and she was proud of how she had handled the situation. She knew there was still much to learn, but she was ready to face any challenges that came her way. After the successful launch of the new product, Maria Santos found herself at a crossroads. Her work at Harrison and Company was thriving, but the increase in responsibilities was also starting to weigh heavily. The demand for her attention seemed never-ending, and balancing work and personal life was becoming an increasing challenge. It was a rainy afternoon in New York when Maria received a phone call from her sister, Laura, who lived in neighboring New Jersey. Laura was going through a personal crisis and needed support. Maria, however, was overwhelmed with a series of critical projects and meetings. In the office, Maria was in the conference room, participating in an important meeting with the development team. The meeting was dragging on, and Maria's tired eyes did not go unnoticed by the team members. "Maria, are you okay?" Ethan, one of the team members, asked with a look of concern. "You seem a bit overwhelmed." Maria forced a smile. "I'm fine, Ethan. Just a bit tired. We have a lot of projects going on, and I'm trying to keep up with everything." During a break in the meeting, Maria decided to return Laura's call. She stepped away to a quiet corner of the office and answered the phone. "Hi, Laura," Maria began, with a tone of concern. "How are you?" Laura, with a shaky voice, responded. "Maria, I really need you. I'm going through a tough time and feel like I can't handle it on my own. Can you come help me?" Maria closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the pressure of balancing her professional responsibilities with her family needs. "I wish I could come, Laura, but I'm swamped with work and have a lot to sort out here." Laura sighed, a bit disappointed. "I understand, Maria. I just wanted you to know how much this means to me. I miss you." "I'm sorry, Laura," Maria replied, with genuine sadness in her voice. "I'll try to find a way to leave a bit earlier today, so I can at least spend some time with you. Let me know if there's anything specific I can do from a distance." After the call, Maria returned to the meeting, but her mind was torn between work and the urgent need to support her sister. The feeling of guilt and anxiety was palpable, and she was struggling to focus. At the end of the meeting, John Harrison approached Maria as she was trying to organize her papers and prepare for the next task. "Maria, you seem a bit overwhelmed," John commented, with a concerned look. "Is everything okay?" Maria hesitated for a moment before deciding to be honest. "Actually, no. My sister is going through a personal crisis, and I'm trying to balance work and family. It's tough." John looked at her with understanding. "I can imagine how challenging that must be. Work can be demanding, but your family needs you too." If you need any adjustments to your workload, or if you need to leave to deal with personal matters, let me know. We can find a solution." Maria felt relieved by John's understanding. "Thank you, Mr. Harrison. That means a lot to me. I'll try to figure out how to adjust my priorities." Later that day, Maria did her best to reorganize her tasks and delegate some responsibilities to her team. She informed everyone about her need to leave early and prepared to leave the office before her usual time. When Maria finally arrived in New Jersey, she found Laura waiting for her at the entrance of her house. Laura was visibly emotional as she saw Maria. "Maria!" Laura exclaimed, hugging her sister tightly. "Thank you for coming. I really needed you." Maria wrapped her in a comforting hug. "I needed to be here for you too. Let's talk and see how I can help." The two spent the evening talking and supporting each other. Maria realized that, despite the challenges of balancing work and personal life, being present for her family was essential. The visit helped Laura feel more supported, and Maria managed to find a temporary relief from the stress she was facing. The next day, Maria returned to the office, renewed and with a fresh perspective on her priorities. She realized that while work was important, maintaining a strong connection with her family was also crucial for her well-being. When Maria returned, John approached her to ask about her weekend. "How did things go with your sister?" John asked, with a tone of genuine concern. "It was much better than I expected," Maria replied, with a grateful smile. "Spending time with her made a big difference." "I'm glad to hear that," John said, with an encouraging tone. "Remember, it's important to take care of yourself and your family, in addition to work. We're here to support you." Maria left that day with a renewed sense of balance and a feeling of gratitude for the support she had received. She was ready to tackle the upcoming challenges with a more balanced perspective, knowing that understanding and support were essential both at work and in her personal life. As autumn progressed in New York, Harrison and Company was preparing for a major event, a presentation for investors that could shape the company's future. The event was scheduled to take place at a luxurious hotel in the city, and everyone was involved in finalizing the details. Maria Santos, now well established in her new role as coordinator, was responsible for ensuring everything went according to plan. On the morning of the event, Maria met with John Harrison and the planning team in the hotel's conference room. She was reviewing the final adjustments and ensuring that every detail was checked. The team was excited, but the tension in the room was palpable. "Maria, we need to make sure all presentations are ready and all equipment is functioning properly," John said, looking at her with a serious expression. "This event is crucial for us." "I understand, Mr. Harrison," Maria responded, with a tone of determination. "I'm personally checking everything to make sure there are no issues." As Maria did a final check on the presentation materials, she received a message from Anna, her friend and coworker. Message from Anna: "Hi, Maria. Remember that the presentation should also be an opportunity to showcase our team and our achievements. Good luck, and I'm cheering for you." Maria smiled as she read the message. The friendship and support from her colleagues helped her face the challenges with more confidence. With the arrival of investors and key clients, the atmosphere was a frenzy of last-minute preparations. Maria was coordinating logistics, solving last-minute problems, and ensuring everything was in order. During the event, John gave a warm introduction, and the presentation began. Maria watched attentively, nervous but excited, as the team made their presentation. The room was filled with important investors and clients, and Maria was at the center of attention, responsible for ensuring the execution was flawless. After the presentation, as the investors dispersed for a networking cocktail, Maria found herself talking with Claire, a key investor interested in Harrison and Company's proposal. "Maria, the presentation was impressive," Claire said with a smile. "I'm particularly interested in learning more about your responsibilities in coordinating the project. It seems you play a crucial role in the company." Maria smiled, feeling a mix of pride and modesty. "Yes, I've been working hard to ensure everything is on track. I appreciate the positive feedback. I'm really excited about the company's potential and the opportunities ahead," Claire continued, looking at Maria with an expression of interest. "It seems like you have great potential. I was wondering if you'd be interested in exploring a new opportunity that's come up. We have an expansion project for a new business line, and we're looking for someone with your skills to lead it." Maria was surprised by the offer. That's a great opportunity. Can I learn more about the project? Claire explained the project in detail, highlighting the importance of leadership and coordination skills. Maria was intrigued and excited about the possibility of taking on a new challenge. It sounds like an exciting opportunity, Maria said, with a tone of consideration. I'd like to know more about how I could get involved and what the next steps would be. Great, Claire responded with a smile. Let's schedule a meeting to discuss the details and see how you could fit into this project. I'd love to have you on board. The conversation was interrupted when John approached, with a satisfied smile. Maria, you did an excellent job today, John said with approval. The investors are impressed, and the feedback has been very positive. Thank you, Mr. Harrison, Maria replied with a relieved smile. It was a big team effort, and I'm happy it went well. Claire was praising your performance, John commented, looking at Claire. It seems a new opportunity has come up for you. Claire nodded in agreement. Yes, I'm looking forward to discussing this opportunity with Maria. I think she's the perfect fit to lead our next big project. John looked at Maria with an encouraging gaze. If you're interested, this could be an excellent chance to further grow your career. You've already shown great potential, and I'm confident you'll do an excellent job. Maria was excited about the prospect of a new opportunity, but also knew she needed to carefully consider her next steps. She thanked Claire and John for their support and expressed her enthusiasm about exploring the new opportunity. As the event came to a close, Maria was exhausted but satisfied. She met with her coworkers, who were equally thrilled with the success of the event. Congratulations, Maria, Anna said, giving her a hug. I heard about Claire's proposal. That's amazing. Thanks, Anna, Maria replied with a sparkle of excitement. I'm really excited about the opportunity and looking forward to seeing how it unfolds. With the end of the event and the prospect of a new career adventure, Maria was filled with hope and enthusiasm. The success of the day and the new opportunity were a testament to her growth and dedication, and she was ready to embrace the next chapter of her professional journey. Maria Santos was caught up in a whirlwind of emotions as she considered the new opportunity presented by Claire. The chance to lead the expansion project for a new business line was a golden opportunity, but it also meant a significant commitment. She knew this decision would impact not only her career, but also her personal and professional balance. The morning after the event, Maria sat at her desk, reviewing Claire's detailed proposal and preparing for the meeting with her. Her mind was full of conflicting thoughts about her next steps. With her head full of worries, she decided to take a break and call Laura to update her sister on what was happening in her life. Hi, Laura, Maria said when the call was answered. I just wanted to tell you about a new opportunity that's come up at work. It's something big, and I'm trying to decide if I should go for it. Laura, always a source of support, responded with interest. Wow, that sounds exciting. Tell me more about the opportunity. Maria explained the expansion project and what would be required of her. Claire offered me the chance to lead an international expansion project. It would be a huge step in my career, but it's also a huge responsibility. I'm worried about how it might affect my personal life. Laura, listening attentively, gave thoughtful advice. I understand your concerns. Sometimes, opportunities like this don't come around twice, but it's important for you to feel comfortable with your decision. What do you think would be best for you in the long run? Maria sighed, reflecting on Laura's words. I'm still not sure. I want to do a great job and seize the opportunity, but I also don't want to sacrifice my health and family time. Laura offered reassuring advice. Weigh the pros and cons, and don't be afraid to talk to your superiors about your concerns. They might be willing to offer some support or flexibility. After finishing the call with Laura, Maria felt a bit clearer about her feelings. She prepared for her meeting with Claire, determined to explore all aspects of the new opportunity. In the afternoon, Maria met with Claire at a quiet cafe, away from the hustle and bustle of the office. Claire was waiting for her with a friendly smile. Maria, it's great to see you, Claire said with a welcoming tone. I'm looking forward to discussing the project details with you. Hi, Claire, Maria replied, sitting down and arranging her papers. Thank you for meeting with me. I want to learn more about the project and discuss how I might fit into this role. Claire began to detail the project, emphasizing the importance of the expansion and its impact on the company. The project involves entering new international markets and creating a new product line. We need someone with your skills to lead the team and ensure everything goes according to plan. Maria listened attentively, taking notes. It sounds like an amazing and challenging project. What are the expectations in terms of time and commitment? Claire responded with a serious expression. The expectation is that the project will require a significant commitment. There will be a lot of travel and intense involvement in the coming months. It's a role that demands full dedication. Maria felt a weight on her shoulders as she heard the description. This seems like quite a big commitment. I have some concerns about how this might affect my personal life and my ability to maintain a healthy balance. Claire, sensing Maria's concern, responded with empathy. I understand your concerns. This is a challenging project, and it's important to find a balance. If you decide to move forward, we'll be here to support you and discuss ways to make the process more manageable. The conversation continued, with Maria asking about the team, available support, and project expectations. After the meeting, Maria left the cafe with a sense of clarity but also uncertainty. She knew she had an important decision to make. That evening, Maria sat down with John Harrison to discuss the opportunity and her concerns. John was reviewing some documents when Maria walked into his office. Mr. Harrison, I'd like to talk about Claire's proposal. Maria began with a serious tone. Maria felt relieved after hearing John's support. I really appreciate the support. I'm going to think more about this and consider my options. I want to make the best decision for my career and personal life. John smiled and wrapped up the conversation. Do what you think is best for you. If you need more information or want to discuss it further, I'm here to help. With John's support, Maria felt a bit more confident about her decision, knowing she had the necessary backing. She spent the night reflecting on her options, trying to find a balance between pursuing an exciting new opportunity and maintaining the quality of life she valued. The following day brought a sense of resolution. Maria was ready to make an informed choice and take the next step in her career, aware of the implications and available support. She knew that whatever decision she made, she was moving toward a new chapter in her professional and personal journey. As late autumn approached, New York was draped in a golden mantle of fallen leaves. The city streets were bustling with activity, reflecting the energy and anticipation Maria Santos felt. After days of reflection and deep discussions, Maria was finally ready to make a decision about the new opportunity offered by Claire. On the morning of the big day, Maria prepared for a crucial meeting with Claire and John Harrison. She had decided it was time to clarify her intentions and discuss the next steps with complete transparency. Maria walked into John's office, where Claire was already waiting. The atmosphere was calm, but the tension was palpable. John stood up and waved to Maria. Good morning, Maria, John said with a warm tone. We're ready for your decision. Claire also smiled and greeted Maria. Hello, Maria. I'm looking forward to hearing your decision and discussing what comes next. Taking a deep breath, Maria began to speak. I want to thank both of you for all the support and detailed information about the project. I've spent the past few days considering the proposal and reflecting on how it fits with my current goals and circumstances. John and Claire listened attentively as Maria continued. After much consideration, I've decided to accept the offer to lead the expansion project, Maria announced with a firm and determined tone. I'm excited about the opportunity and ready to tackle the challenges that come with it. However, I'd like to discuss a few conditions to ensure I can maintain a healthy balance between work and personal life. Claire smiled, clearly pleased. Excellent decision, Maria. Let's discuss the conditions and find ways to ensure you have the support needed to succeed in the project. John nodded in agreement, signaling his support. Certainly, Maria. We're here to ensure you have the resources and balance you need. What are your main concerns, and how can we assist? Maria explained her concerns clearly and directly. I'd like to have a workload management plan that includes the option for remote work when necessary. Additionally, I'd like to discuss a travel schedule that is reasonable and compatible with my personal needs. Claire took note of Maria's concerns and responded with understanding. We can definitely work on a flexible plan for workload management and travel. We believe that with a collaborative approach, we can find solutions that meet all your needs. John added with an encouraging tone, We'll make sure you have the flexibility needed to balance your professional and personal responsibilities. It's important to us that you feel supported and satisfied with your work. Maria felt relieved hearing Claire and John's willingness to adjust the details as needed. Thank you so much for that. With these conditions adjusted, I feel more confident moving forward with the project. Claire smiled and extended her hand for a handshake. Welcome to the project leadership team, Maria. We're excited to work with you and see the success of this new challenge. Maria shook Claire's hand with a satisfied smile. Thank you, Claire. I'm excited to get started and contribute to the project's success. John, pleased with the outcome of the meeting, offered his final words of encouragement. Maria, we're all here to support you. Your dedication and skills are valuable to us, and I'm confident you'll do an excellent job. After the meeting, Maria left the office with a sense of accomplishment and relief. She was eager to start the new project and pleased with the adjusted conditions that would allow her to maintain a healthy balance in her life. As she walked through the streets of New York, Maria reflected on her journey so far. From her start at Harrison & Company to the new opportunity now before her, she had faced challenges and made tough decisions. But with the support of her colleagues and her own determination, she was ready to embrace the next chapter of her career. When she returned home, Maria found a message from Laura on her phone. Message from Laura: I'm so happy you've made your decision. I knew you'd make the right choice. Remember, I'm here to support you in whatever you need. Good luck with the new project. Maria smiled as she read the message, feeling grateful for the ongoing support of her family and friends. With a new perspective and a new challenge ahead, she was ready to start the next chapter of her professional life, facing it with courage and enthusiasm.